What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the two new upcoming packages. Part one, the physical infrastructure package, which is around $1.2 trillion, and part two, the next stimulus package, which is around $3.5 trillion, also known as the American Families Plan, which or at least Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says that they are going to be voting on parts and pieces of and moving forward on this week. We're going to hear directly from them and also the Republicans. They actually have some shocking words on whether or not what is going to happen with that this week. So, yeah, I'm going to let you know that. I'm also going to clarify what is going on with the stimulus checks and the tax credits. What I think might be happening with that. I think there might be a stimulus check included in this next package, also known as a tax credits. Remember, these child tax credits that are going on are checks going out right now. They're saying that there is an adult tax credit in this next package. I will clarify what I think that might mean in this video as well. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do not miss any videos at this point because they are voting on parts and pieces of these next packages this week. And we will be hearing directly from the Senate in this video and about these tax credits and stimulus checks and the latest information. All right, let's jump right in. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. Okay, first up, stocks dropped dramatically today, 725 points. At one point, it was down around 1,000 points for the Dow Jones Industrial Average today, marking one of the worst drops in history. Not the worst, but one of the worst. And a lot of people are saying that this is because of the rising COVID cases that are really, really bad right now, and inflation fears, and basically that the economy needs propped up right now and that people need help right now. If there was ever a case for more stimulus, a faltering economy is the case. If we go back to the last economic drop we had amidst the pandemic back in March and April of 2020, when we see the market really collapse. Back then in February of last year, when we went, and almost March, when we went from about Dow 30,000 all the way down to Dow 19,000, dramatic drop when the COVID cases were just starting and the country shut down. What was the first thing they did? Pass a massive stimulus package, stimulus checks, paycheck protection program, money for businesses, and money for the pandemic. I hate to say this, but when Wall Street's in trouble, the first thing they do is bail out Wall Street. Yeah, I know it's kind of sad to say, but I guess the reason would be because the first, and again, sad to say, but when businesses are in trouble, one of the first things they do is lay off their employees. I know it's sad to say that the world works that way, but yeah, again, sad to say, but I guess it's maybe a good thing that Congress does step in and bail out businesses and have stimulus checks and money for the people and all these things, because it does help people from getting laid off, and they help people with stimulus checks and mortgage assistance, rental assistance, food assistance, and all these different stimulus programs. And really, these COVID-19 cases rising in all 50 states and across the world. The Olympics are actually having a threat of being canceled right now. LA County, Los Angeles County, is actually restoring their mask mandate. We're seeing threats of this happening across the United States in different states. Cases are up. Deaths are up across the United States. In almost all states, cases are up in every single state across the United States. And yeah, it's starting to spook a lot of people. It's starting to spook the markets. It's starting to spook a lot of companies. And yeah, are we in for a pandemic recession 2.0? Let me know your thoughts on that down below in the comments. Okay, one, I want to talk about the checks that could be baked into this stimulus package already. Then I'll talk about the vote that is coming. We'll hear from some of the senators about the votes that could be happening literally here within 48 hours or so in the Senate. And yeah, we'll go with the latest information on that. So number one is there could actually be a stimulus check already baked into or already kind of announced in this next stimulus package already. And it could be under the disguise of a tax credit. Okay. And a lot of people are confused about this. So I try to explain this the best I can. And the easiest way to explain this is to reference the child tax credits. Okay. The child tax credits that are going out right now it's really big news right now because 65 million children are getting checks sent to them, $250 to $300 per month in these monthly child tax credit checks. Okay. Kind of the key word here is tax credit checks. People get confused when they hear the word tax credits. Okay. If you could almost subtract the word tax credits and just think of the word check because it's a check. Even direct deposit. Some people don't even get checks. They just get a direct deposit. Think of the word check. Think of the word money. If you hear tax credit, just think of the word money. Okay. Here's where it gets interesting. Included in this next package is the mirror opposite of the child tax credit or an adult tax credit. Biden's social infrastructure plan already calls for, now remember, we don't have a bill yet, okay? So this is kind of what the Democrats are telling us. And even after they write the bill's probably going to be modified. Remember, the second stimulus check wasn't even added into the bill, and they had to modify it because they were like, we had senators, literally Bernie Sanders and Republican Senator Josh Hawley saying, no, you have to change the bill. We have to add a second stimulus check in there, okay? But it could actually be already in this package, okay? So what they're saying is, in this next stimulus package, the social infrastructure package, the next stimulus package, the American Families Plan, has a lot of different names, right? Is a expansion of the child tax credit. It's likely going to go till 2025. There's also going to be an expansion of the earned income tax credit. This is going to be, this is already in effect, okay? Just like the child tax credit was already in effect. The child tax credit has been in effect since 1998. It used to be, it started off at like $400, then it went to $500, then it went to $1,000, then it went to $2,000, okay? And I'm going to explain you the differences here, okay? But just know that it had a lot of changes throughout the years and had a very significant change in just in the last stimulus package. Same thing with the adult earned income tax credit. This particular article doesn't say it, but there's also child care expenses going to be in there and also dependent care expenses going to be in this next one. So there could be tax credits for if you pay for adult care for mom or dad, maybe senior living or child care for your children and stuff. But what I want to talk about is this one, earned income tax credit, or you almost could say adult tax credit, okay, is another way to say this. This is kind of, think of it two ways. There's the child tax credits, and then there's the adult tax credit, okay? Number one, right now, you need earned income for it, okay? You have to make taxable income, okay? But this is where I get getting a lot of comments of people that are confused about this. The child tax credit used to need earned income as well. In fact, last year, you need earned income. Former President Donald Trump in 2017 raised the child tax credit from $1,000 to $2,000. By the way, they did that with the reconciliation process. The Republicans controlled the House, the Senate, and the presidency in 2017, 2018. The Republicans controlled everything. Now the Democrats happen to control everything. I don't know. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? Okay. Former President Trump increased the child tax credits to $2,000 last year, 2020. Okay. But you needed earned income to get it. Well, in the third stimulus check package, the Democrats changed that to where you didn't need any earned income, okay? So the child tax credit could have been called an earned income child tax credit. It's just the name happened to just be child tax credit. That's just happened to be the name that stuck. Remember, stimulus checks the popular name just has to be stimulus check. It could actually be called advanced refundable tax credit. That's actually what they are. They're actually advanced refundable tax credits. Okay, a lot of people say tax credit. I don't want a tax credit. I want a stimulus check. Tax credits are stimulus checks. Okay, they're advanced refundable tax credits. Okay, Got it. Okay. The child tax credits used to require earned income. So if you were a stay-at-home mom and just say you didn't work, you would have not gotten the child tax credits of $2,000 per child. Wow. Yeah, you would have missed out on that $2,000 per child. The Democrats changed that. Democrats changed that. So you didn't need a single dollar of earned income. And they increased it to $3,000 to $3,600 per child. So if there's one lesson here, the Democrats think that you shouldn't need earned income to receive these tax credits. Okay? Again, the Democrats think, because they just did this in the last package, if history shows us this is what the Democrats are thinking, that for the child tax credits, you don't need any earned income. They just passed this in the very last package. That they think, and they just passed this, that there shouldn't be an earned income requirement to receive the child tax credits. So it's probably a very likely scenario that they probably still think the same thing for the adult version of tax credits, known as the earned income tax credit. Now, the name just happens to have the words earned income in there. That doesn't mean that it has to require earned income. It could be called adult tax credit, like child tax credit. So there's going to be an extension or an expansion of the adult tax credit. Maybe I should just change the name here for you. So there's going to be an extension of the child tax credit in this next package. There's also going to be an extension of the adult tax credit. Again, we don't know the details, but the Democrats are saying that the adult tax credit is going to be in this next package, and there's going to be an expansion of it. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like what happened with the third stimulus check package? They passed stimulus checks, by the way, and they passed the expansion of the child tax credits. So the third stimulus check package had the stimulus checks, they had the $1,400, and they had the child tax credits on top of that. So what they're saying in this next package, just what they've announced, by the way, okay? We really don't know everything they've announced because there's no bill. And remember, even after they write the bill, if history tells us what's going to happen, because second stimulus check, they wrote the bill and they had to change it. They had to add the stimulus checks in after they wrote the bill. Third stimulus check, not only did they write the bill and have to change it afterwards, but the House actually passed the bill. Then the Senate made major changes. They had to take out the $15 minimum wage. They had to add in the $10,200 unemployment tax break. That was a major change that literally put $2,000 or $3,000 in a lot of people's pockets. And they lowered the income thresholds for the third stimulus check package. So even after they write the bill, they're probably going to change it. And a lot of times for the good. In fact, they added the second stimulus check in there after they wrote the bill, and they added the $10,200 stimulus provision in there after they wrote the bill. That was worth $2,000 or $3,000 for some people, $1,000 for a lot of other people. So even after they wrote the bill in the second and third packages, a lot of people still got checks added in after the bill. So what do we know? Child tax credits are going to be in this next bill. Again, everything's up for negotiation though. And adult tax credits are going to be in this next bill. And if they're anything like these child tax credits, they could be monthly checks. Child tax credits are monthly checks. Let's just hope that these adult tax credits are monthly checks. I don't want to get everybody's hopes up, but if they're anything like these child tax credits, they could be monthly checks. Now, if they are monthly checks, let's just put on our happy faces and just think of what could be awesomeness. If they're awesome, if they're monthly checks, they're probably going to be for low-income people. So if you make $75,000 a year, don't get too excited, okay? You could get a stimulus check. I'm not saying that won't happen. But I doubt they're going to give monthly checks to people that make $75,000 a year, okay? I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I just think that's unlikely, okay? Also, I think that if they do these adult tax credits, So right now, the adult tax credits, you can technically get them with children as well. I think they're going to exclude them for children, okay? Because I don't think they're going to give them to children and let you double dip. So they're going to give the adult tax credits to adults, and they're going to have the child tax credits for children. Why? Because to me, that only makes logical sense. We'll be talking about that more in upcoming episodes. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your questions. All that stuff to me just makes logical sense. Not everything is logical when it comes to Congress. Yeah, you're gonna hear some what they're saying right now about passing these bills. And yeah, not everything is makes logical sense, as you'll agree with me. Congress is Congress, right? But let me know your thoughts. To me, all of that stuff seems pretty logical. And again, I kind of keep my thumb on what's going on in Congress, and I've been reading a lot of articles. And in all these articles, they're saying the child tax credits are included, the adult tax credits are included, and the child care and dependent care tax credits are included. So I kind of like figured it out that these adult tax credits are included. And I was thinking, there's child tax credits included and there's adult tax credits included. And it's kind of the light bulb went off in my head. And I was like, why didn't I realize that? That there's child tax credits and people are getting those checks right now, but they've also included tax credits for adults. Now, we don't know what that means yet, but people are getting checks right now for their children and their child tax credits, and they're including adult tax credits in there. Maybe it means everything we hope it means. We'll find out. All right, here's the latest news from the senators. Actually, first, let me show you this interesting clip I seen about what's going on with the Senate right now.
Jacqueline, talk to me about this. Senator Schumer expected to hold a test vote, adding pressure for lawmakers to reach an agreement. What is this vote going to reveal about the road ahead for infrastructure?
This, I think, is going to reveal whether or not Democrats are in disarray, as our newspaper editors' headlines so often love to refer to. Look, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has already missed the first deadline he set on this, which was a deadline for last week having a test vote. And unfortunately, congressional negotiators are right back where we were a few months ago, Alicia. Lawmakers are unable to decide how they want to foot the bill. Remember, as you just noted, this is a two-track process. So the reconciliation bill, which Democratic senators are still hashing out, figuring out those details, needs to be passed in tandem with the bipartisan bill. But lawmakers, despite months of negotiations, came out last week, and Senator Rob Portman said explicitly on Sunday shows today that there are issues right now with a $100 billion tax to empower the Internal Revenue Service to pursue unpaid federal taxes. This is a pretty big problem facing lawmakers right now. $100 billion again would needs to be taxed in order to foot this bill, which Republican lawmakers have insisted upon, but they also don't want to repeal any of the taxes of the tax cuts passed under Trump 4 years ago. That means that lawmakers still need to find a lot of additional money to pay for this package. And then on the other side of the coin on this, you have centrist Democrats who are already opposing some of the more progressive climate provisions that have been included in the reconciliation package. So there's a lot that needs to be figured out right now.
Also, I'm seeing some news that the IRS provisions that we've been talking a lot about the IRS and how the Democrats want to give money to the IRS. Basically, they have removed the IRS provisions. The Democrats wanted to give $40 billion to the IRS enforcement to hire more IRS agents and beef up the IRS. Well, it looks like they have removed that provisions, and bipartisan senators have agreed to new infrastructure pay for after dropping the IRS enforcement. This is actually brand new information. And it looks like we don't even know what the new pay-fors are yet. Initially, they had dropped the IRS enforcement to beef up the IRS staff, to shore up more revenue from the IRS, but they've declined to say what it is yet. So they're actually still negotiating on these packages, literally as they could be voting here within the next 48 hours and don't have a bill written yet. Yeah, so this is literally how it comes, and they're going to be wheeling a bill in here for the bipartisan bill and voting on it here, if it all happens. I'll keep you up to date. Let me know your thoughts on everything. Remember, new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. Click the bell icon to all notifications. Share this video with your friends and family, and I will keep you up to date with everything stimulus related, as well as what is going on with our country and in Washington, D.C. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. This bottom video is how to apply for rent assistance from the third stimulus check package and get your rent paid for up to 12 months. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have already had dozens of students replace their 9-to-5 income doing so. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.